the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show.
A lot of drama, but it's all.
Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV.
And then we'll come back to that same point. All right.
Okay.
Maryland. On that same note that Steve just said, what happened in your assessment? Go for it.
I didn't get to watch the game,
Mm-hmm.
but I have checked up on some information.
Okay.
From what I understand, the defense did not. No, they did not hold up. Period. It was just, and yeah, Fields is, he passes.
Right.
And it's like, how in the world?
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I was freaking shocked.
Uh-huh.
I do have another, and yeah, Steve, you are right. I'm just, you don't.
No, I know what you want to say, but just try in your own way to get to the point where you're explaining to one play that sealed the deal for you. Go for it.
You got to cover these guys.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter.
Thank
You
you.
got to cover them.
Thank you.
And if you don't have them covered and you don't adjust your defense, then
I'm right there with you. Okay, we just had another caller. He's the host of the Lewis and the Enhanced Sports Show, none other than Lewis Tenor. But Lou, hold that thought. We're gonna go back to Big Steve and let him finish his thought, and then I'm gonna piggyback off what he said and go right to you. All right, go Lou. Go Steve.
Okay, and what I'm saying is that our offense, and they running the same offense like last year.
Mm-hmm.
The short pass,
Mm-hmm.
the short pass to the tight end. We got veteran wide receivers. Why are you not throwing the bomb? And then he overthrew his boy Damian Brown.
Yes.
Brown.
Dahami Brown. Yeah.
Keep throwing them long bombs. Keep throwing them long bombs to our veteran receivers. They can catch just about anything, but you're not executing our long bombs.
Right.
The only two quarterbacks that used to do long bombs was Seisman and Mark Griffin. They was two throwing bomb guys that do bombs and do the receivers, no matter how small or tall they was, can catch them. We're not doing that no more, and that's the problem with the Washington Commanders now. You got great receivers now.
Okay.
That you can do bombs to.
So
I've got a question.
Yeah, go for it.
What's going on with Terry McLaurin? What am I seeing? Is it true? He's going to be, he's already taken out?
No, Okay, so this is a great question, and I'm 1,000% happy with your questioning and explanation. I'm gonna go to explain Big Steve's comment, and I'm piggyback over it, and then I'm gonna go to Lou, and then I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna answer Marilyn, and then go to Lou. But here's what happened. It wasn't the fact they couldn't use the veteran wide receivers. It's to Ron Rivera and Eric Bieniemy's understanding that they thought that the Bears defense only was playing the run with beat up CBs and safeties, which was true. Their most surprised running back was out. The CB in the back, I forgot his name, was hurt. And they were playing more of a base defense, which was true in their last 4 games. Until they played the Denver Broncos, where they switched everything and revamped everything and scrapped the old playbook and created a new one, where they lost by 3 points to the Broncos. Now, if you move forward to Thursday night, what happened was they watched the Eagles play us. They watched the Broncos and the Arizona game, as well as the Bills. Now, what was more intriguing is that they was not looking at the Cardinals and Broncos game on the footage. They were worrying about that. They were worrying about two or three things. They were worrying about the offense, wide receivers, the running backs, and they were worrying about Chase Young, Monte Sweat, and Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen in the middle, and how to defend against them. So how would they do that? The Eagles game and the Bills game. And what you saw on last night when I said here on the show that they were going to do the same things the Eagle did. And sure enough, what did they do? 4th and 1. They were down 4th and 1, and we had them ready where we wanted. And what they did? The quarterback sneak on the 4th and 1 and got it. Now, they didn't do it one time. They did it twice. So what that means is they studied us to the T. Now, keep in mind, Steve just said exactly what I was going to say before the show started. Yeah. He nailed it on the head. What that Jack Del Rio said was he was going to run the base. Now, normally the base is he's going to go in cover 2 in zone. I said on the show, Jack Del Rio does not care about how bad the team is beating us. He want to make sure he's getting the concept to his players. So that tells me 2 things. That tells me, 1, he's not going to revert to a new play. He's going to go to the old play and stick with it until it's burnt into the minds of these youngsters who's on playing these games. That means
but they gotta adjust.
That's my point. He won't adjust. That's my point, Coach. He won't adjust until something goes wrong. And look, boy, there it is. 40 points. Too late now. Game's over. Here's my next problem. Steve just said Jamin Davis is not a covering linebacker. Correct. You're right. Yes, he's supposed. Hold on, Steve, because I'm about to clarify what you meant by that. That was a perfect point. They put his man in a coverage situation. When this guy only rushes the scrimmage. He's supposed to rush the scrimmage because he is a linebacker who can burst through A and B gaps to stop the quarterback from passing. But you know what he did? And so stupidly, he did this 8 times in the second and third quarter. He put Jameis Davis on the opposite side of where Sweat is, where there's nobody there in the middle for first down. Then he did it on the left side where Chase Young was, where he had nobody to defend, and he was on the left side with the gap open in the middle. That's my problem with him. He sees it and he goes, oh, my bad, and does it again. That's how we got 40. That's how the running game got 100 plus yards in the middle. That's why you had Herbert dragging our defense.
Well, that's what the Bills did to it.
What the Bills did was they mimicked the Carolina Panthers, how they just, they spread out and then they come together when it's a run. Then they spread out and go in zone when it's, when you're passing. And then what they do is they flock to the running back, and that's the problem with Jack. He doesn't recognize it, and he thinks his scheme is going to be the deciding factor and win. This is not, and I quote, this is not the 2000s. This is not the 2010s. This is not the 2011s. This is 2023. These are more athletic players that can plug the gap with will. There's more of a type here. Oh, man, listen. It just goes deeper than that, Coach. It goes deeper than that. I'm going to tell you about the secondary. Yeah. The secondary. Last year, we had Cam Curl in the strong safety position. Then we had who was the other one? I think it was St. Jude. Then we had St. Jude in the safety position. You know how we were feared at number 3? Because those two were back there. Now what you're doing is you're putting Emmanuel Forbes out there to learn, but you're not giving him help. He is a safety now when he's supposed to be a corner. You got to have the safety up so when the ball is thrown, he can rush and assist. That's how we got beat so many times when the double up and over. You can't allow this corner to be the safety and corner. It makes no sense. He's not a versatile player. He's an athletic player. He's 175 taking on a 235 plus wide receiver. That's like telling Mike Tyson to take on Roy Joyce Jr. and get whooped. You can't do that.
I agree.
You can't do that. And then not only that, I'm gonna go one more step, and then I'm gonna go to Lou. What's his name? Burrow or Byron? Whatever his middle linebacker. Or who's the one that we got from Seattle? What's his name, Steve?
Some of the quarterback from Seattle.
No, the linebacker from Seattle that we traded for.
From Seattle?
Yeah, because we know we lost Cole Turner, not Cole Turner, but the other Cole. We lost Cole from.
He went
to Pittsburgh. Yeah, so we got that linebacker from Seattle.
We got the linebacker from. No, I thought he was from the Giants.
No, he was from. No, you're talking about David Mayo. I'm not talking about David Mayo. I'm talking about the other guy.
I thought you were talking about the other linebacker. He's slow as my goodness.
I think his name was Colt, something like that. Anyway, we'll come with his name. You'll say when you come to your mind, say it out loud. Now I'll agree with you. But this linebacker in the red zone, this is another problem I had with Jack Del Rio. You're in goal stance. You do not want them to score. So there's only two options. Either you bring the linebacker up or you drop him in coverage. You know that these linebackers are not quick like wide receivers and running backs. But you do not put your linebacker on one of their most fastest tight ends to get a score. You do that. You literally put this guy in knowing that you had another linebacker who could actually pick up the speed and block a pass. Or you can cheat by allowing this guy to come up and deflect. That's my problem with Jack Del Rio. He doesn't change philosophy. He didn't change philosophy in that loss against the Bills. He didn't change the philosophy when we almost lost against the Cardinals. We barely walked out with a victory. And I knew when I saw this in preseason, I was like, please, dear God, do not do this in live football action. And sure enough, he said no.
With top string, yeah.
Yeah, and sure enough, Jack Del Rio said no. I'm going to do it in live stream. Go, don't worry about it. We got this. We worried too much. And look what happened. We have a for and against. Get the numbers. Here's the numbers. We have 109 points for, 169 against. So basically what that means, folks, any team in the NFL can score 40 plus points on us, and we could only muster either 31 or 20 points. I am fed up with the stats. I'm stat friendly, but I'm fed up to the stats against us rather than for us. And every single time we're in a bind in the beginning of the season, we give out a lot of points. We're turning into a defense that is a bend don't break. Lou,
Yeah.
what did you see on Thursday night? Did you see a team searching for an answer or a team that have no answers?
I think with a team with no answers after performance like that. I mean, the game went the opposite direction I expected. I mean, the Bears, the Bears did all the right moves, and the Commanders did, well, nothing. So,
right.
I mean,
we should have stomped them.
And as the saying goes, it's like Oscar's finding his head in the sand, and believe me, they were trying to look for their heads in the sand.
See that's a true analysis. And I thank you for that, Lou, because in the beginning, I figured they were going to let go AG. They waited until late to go to AG. When they threw that pass to AG in the corner, and he turned it up and got that first down, and you saw him release this frustration yell, I thought we were turning the page now. We're going to go ahead and win this by 1 point or win it by 3 points. And it would look that way until and I literally threw my remote on the rug and said, you know what? I'm done for the night.
Okay.
And when they scored 30 and we had 20, all we had to do was score to either go for 2 or go for 1. And then kick a field goal to tie it and go to overtime again.
Mm-hmm.
But they, for some reason, I said to myself, I swear on God, I hope Jack Del Rio doesn't do the same thing again. And sure enough, he did. Oh, boy, he did. But this one, he had a twist to it. Oh, I was so angry. Here's what he did, folks. He took Emmanuel Forbes and sat him down. And then he put Fuller in there. And I'm like,
he put Forbes down.
He sat Forbes down, and he put Fuller in a place of Forbes, and Fuller, for some reason, tried to reach for the football and got dumped. And the touchdown was 37.
Yeah.
I said, you idiot. You idiot.
You moron.
That's yeah, thank you. No, the reason why this I'm glad you asked that. This is why, Maryland, and I'm going to tell you why he did that. Forbes got beat 1, 2, 3 quarters. It was the fourth quarter. Jack Del Rio sat him down and told him, "You're done for tonight. We'll explain what happened on the film." You telling me you let this man stay in there 3 quarters where we had a manageable chance of tying it, versus you letting that man stand and get beat. Then you wait until the last 4 quarter. This is the philosophy I was saying. You waited until the very last minute. My point exactly why Jack Del Rio is the problem. The very last minute, and you let this man stay on there. I'm not blaming Forrest for one. I'm not blaming Forrest because he has to learn. But you don't let him stay in there to get burnt 4 times as he did.
No, you don't.
You can either have this man blitz inside to get to the quarterback. This is Chris Fields. This is not an NFL style quarterback. He is a rookie. You let this rookie shine. You can have Forbes go against him, and then you can have him, throw an interception. This is what scheming is about. You don't allow a quarterback to get hot. You blitz him and make him uncomfortable in the pocket. He sat there at home. You know how many points we allowed at home? 77 points at home, folks. At home, who has done that besides,
Do you have a TV left or what?
I think I had burned out my TV for undisclosed reasons. Should not be nameless. Sorry, TV, but you do not need to be in the house no more. But 77 points allowed at home, 37 against the Bills. Now 40 points on at home on Thursday night. No other team has experienced this loss since the Broncos getting scored 70 points in Miami. And here's another thing, folks. We still have to play the Dolphins. We still have to play, for some reason, the 49ers. And they're just looking at this going, we ain't worried. We ain't worrying about them. Look what the Eagles did. Look what the... Yes, exactly. They're looking at this like
and
you.
Our defense, we have talented players.
We do, and I'm right there with you. My problem is the coaches. It's not the players. Everybody who says the players is not looking at what it needs to be. It's definitely the coaches. Okay, Eric Bieniemy, listen. No, hold on. I want you to listen to me. I know, Coach. I know what you're gonna say. Stop it.
No. I'm not saying it. It's like that. It's on Instagram, big picture, and they're talking about, like Del Rio does. I'm like, that's fine.
I'm now okay. Here's my thing on that. I don't think it's Ron Rivera. It's not Ron Rivera. Even though Ron Rivera was on the sidelines looking at everything, trying to manage, it's not him. He wasn't calling the plays on offense and defense. He was managing time and calls. That's his rights. But who had the play call sheet? Eric Bieniemy. Who had the defensive calls and the signals? Jack Del Rio. I blame Jack more than anything because you could have used Fuller in a blitz. You could have used Jamie Davis in a blitz. They wasn't picking up none of that. They had a screen, folks. Okay, for those who do not understand the concept of screens and a bubble screens, I'm going to explain it. You hear it here on DMV Show. The bubble screen is when you have a running back inside the pocket, and with the defenders open up the pocket and block defenders so that way their lane can be created. The Eagles did it back when they had LaShawn McCoy. Here's the problem with us. We have quality bookend players. We have inside quality defensive tackles. We have 100% the best secondary in football. We have a manageable linebacking core. They're fine, folks. They're fine. What we have is
what they can do. We know what they can do.
Exactly.
If it's under the right.
Here's the problem. We have a knuckleheaded defensive coach who sat there in the presser last year and said in the future he is not going to change his ways. If there's a problem, we'll play through it.
We're never going to go nowhere.
This is why I hate to say it. We are in a really bad place because it's not just Sam Howell on offense. It's now Jack Del Rio on defense. And I see it every time. Here's the fact, folks. You want to see it too? This is what I'm going to show you. Here's what I want y'all to do. This coming Sunday, next Sunday, excuse me, against the Falcons in Atlanta, look at the stats online. You don't like stats? That's fine. Don't look at it. Look at the play. But for those, no, I'm not talking about you, Maryland. Stop it. If you do not like for those who don't like stats, okay, I want you to look at the rivalry between the Commanders and the Falcons. If we lead, look at what led us to believe why we lead in that, right? Look at how many times we scored and how many times we scored in that order. Look how many losses in that order that we took, and go to the one that was the recent loss, right? And check out the patterns. That's all you have to do. The recent loss would tell you if we're going to win or we're going to lose. And that would tell you that either that person was on offense or defense in that era. Now, I'm gonna save everybody a little bit of patience. We won last time in Atlanta. We won because we actually beat Matty Ice 35-33. But that's the most recent. Now, if you go a little bit further, the loss was on Kirk Cousins. Now, if you look at Kirk Cousins' play and look at this coming week or next week, you're starting to see a little bit of pattern, just an instant bits one, and it's going to be on offense. But see, we have a little bit the same practice on defense this year. You're starting to see the picture now. You starting to get it. You starting to see it. That's the statistics, folks. That's the statistics. See, when we lose, and the following year we win, and there was always a hiccup with us, either offense or defense. Now, if you bring that offense, and it is a very big hiccup. Yeah, you're right. But the point is, the pattern is big as day. Big as day. See, even though we had really good offensive weapons back when Kirk Cousins has it, when he was quarterback, they had a problem with interceptions. Now we have a massive, talented defense, and the problem is yardage. But see, here's the catch-22. We don't have an offense yet. The quarterback is still developing, and he's throwing INTs too. And he threw one on Thursday night when he shouldn't have. That's my problem.
Can you please tell me what happened about Terry?
Terry? Now, see, here's what happened with Terry. Terry is upset. Very upset. And he has a right to be upset. He was open, not one, not two, not three, for 4 times. That one, when they came down on the arm of the defender, he was inbound. His toe was inside.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was.
They said, and I quote, he was out of bounds.
Step on the dude's arm.
Yes. Here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing. In the rule book, go look it up in the referee book. If any part of that foot that Terry was on stepped inside, it's a catch. Guess where the arm was? Yeah. Inside.
Mm-hmm.
First down. Right smack there. So you cannot say he fell out of bounds if the man's arm was there. Now, if the man's arm was out of bounds, then he's out of bounds, correct?
Correct.
So he was inbounds. So that's where they screwed up.
He was in bounds.
He was in bounds. That should have been a first down. We could have won that game. Another point. Another point. I made my point. That's it. See, this is why I tell you, statistics matter. It always matter, regardless of what things are. It matters. And that night, this is another one. It hurts me so. The guard of the the Bears, excuse me, was holding Deron Payne in the shoulder pads on the outside. And I remember one of the referees said, if the man is holding his shoulder pads on the outside, it's a hold. That man of the Bears was holding that particular player all night long. And you're not going to call that. That's another thing. Here's another thing. On the opposite side of the field, they were holding, in the running play, they were holding Jahan Dotson. Not Jahan. Yeah, Jahan Dotson. Yep.
Yeah.
So what are we doing on Thursday night? Are we saying, oh, those things don't apply only when it comes to crunch time? Because that's crunch time. Everything is crunch time when you start the ball. When you start the clock. It becomes crunch time when the clock is running. So I'm sorry, folks. I'm a little bit upset because we should have won that game.
I don't want Terry to be let go from the team.
Oh no, he's not, because they invest a lot into Terry. What Terry is upset about is he was open not one, not two, but 4 times in the secondary behind the safety.
Well,
They couldn't, coach. They couldn't. You know why? Because they kept rushing. Listen, I totally agree with everything y'all says. You understand? Because I believe you see exactly what I see. What I'm most upset about is that the fact Terry was open in the secondary and he couldn't get in the ball because the offensive line had already collapsed. He was already sacked, or he threw the ball into the dirt and he just kept going through his checkdowns. My problem is you don't have a better scheme to fight a 0-14. At 0-14 on Thursday night. You should not be on the field.
0-14.
Luke, go ahead, man. Speak your mind. Go ahead.
That's awful.
It is.
It's disgusting.
0-14.
Yeah. 0-14. Now forever. In the record books, it would say the better team with the highest possible compatibility percentage was 67 for us to win. 67. And they had 17%. Yes.
The way we played against the Eagles, I'm like, the Bears, we should have had that one.
Yes.
And I was like, when I saw the score, and I couldn't watch that game, I'm like, what the crap?
Yeah.
I wanted to go down there and shake somebody.
Yo, I would have been there shaking Jack Del Rio while you helping me out. That's fine. I wouldn't have no problem. I would tell, listen, cop, you stay there and watch. He's going to learn something.
Yeah.
Because this is the problem. And I'm going to bring in another problem that we have. Is going to be adamant as well. And I'm going to explain to you, and you're going to be shocked as well if I'm explaining it. Now we have a humongous problem to think about now. And this problem is not just offense. No. It's not just defense. No. It's special teams now. You know why?
No.
You know why? Here's why. We just recently signed Jamin Davis, correct?
Correct.
And in this special teams, we have a coach by the name of Nate Scherzer. Excuse me. Nate Scherzer was on another team. Came over after other special teams left, and he was pretty good. I forgot his name. I think it's beginning with a letter J. But anyway, I'm just going to go and say my piece. He is now in the hot seat because of the fact he is the worst special team coach we have. Here's why. Remember Tressway, who actually went to the Pro Bowl? Everybody knows, right? Well, Tressway is not averaging what he did last year. You know why? Because we are kicking the ball at our 20, and he's kicking it and landing it at their 50, which is the half line of the field. We are getting kickoffs and placing it into the end zone. That's not our fault. That's the punter's fault or kicker on the opposite team. What is our fault is we're getting crap penalties called on us that pushes us back when we get the ball. That's common, not a problem. But when it's done, here's the problem: it's happening in the fourth quarter alone. Have y'all seen the pattern in the fourth quarter of our wins and losses? Fourth quarter has been our most dreadful thing. Special teams. Now that we got Jamin, forget his name. Jamison Crowder. Now that we got Jamison Crowder, he's waving it at the 10 to catch it every single time. Like the Thursday night, he waved it off. It took off. Why did you do that? What, knucklehead? Why? What point did you just wave it off? You took it off, nitwit. Okay, nice. I would have been smacked you when you came to the sideline with your helmet. Think about it. If you wave it off and then turn off, they say, "Oh, you're cheating." 15 yards the other way. Think, my friend. Think. You haven't been in limbo for all your life. You've been with another team on the squad. Now you're getting a chance to come back home, and you do some idiotic stuff like this.
Is he afraid to run the freaking ball?
No. His coach told him to wave it off. If you don't see a pathway, wave it off. And look, there's no yardage.
Wave it off up his butt in a minute.
Yo, we got 8 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and go. We're going to come back to this. We got so much to talk about. Our next opponent for the Commanders is Atlanta. And I encourage all the listeners to go check out the stats. And when you see the stats, you know that I'm not fibbing. It's right in front of your eyes, even though you're not a stat. And they got Heineke. Thank you. And that's who they're going to put in the lineup. I bet you they're going to put him in the helm and use him to beat us. I guarantee you. Because he has a grudge against Ron Rivera, and I have no problem saying that because he's truly, truly right. Now, let's go to a whole bunch of bad news. Maryland lost to Ohio State 37-17. But that's still a good. They're their first loss, but it's 5-0 for Ohio State. They're going to a bowl game. If they win another game, they're going to a bowl game regardless. So I'm happy for them. Let's go ahead and go to the Baltimore Orioles. Another bad thing. They lost to the Texas Rangers 3-2. And I don't see this as a bad thing. I see this as an eye-opener of what they need to do because the next game is at home. And then they can go on the road to Texas, which they're probably going to kill them on the road. Here's another thing I like to say. And I don't have no worries for this because they beat Texas so many times. And, Texas always win too on us. So I have no problems. I think we're going to be just fine. Lou.
I think you will be.
All right, man. So how many series is this one? Is it 5?
I would think at this point you would have to go the whole distance.
Yeah.
Considering,
Yeah, so is it a better at 5, Baltimore Orioles?
If they're at 5, that's after today's game, you're going to have to use all 5.
Right, exactly. So I think we'll win this 3.
Don't you think?
No, you know what? Honestly, bro, I'm gonna be real with you. These teams are much more complete. This Texas team, they're not really complete, but they're starting to see a potential. But I don't think they're really ready yet. So I got the Orioles winning this one, even though they won today. But tomorrow we're going to see a lot more changes, and we're going to see Orioles winning. So Maryland lost. The Baltimore Orioles lost. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Washington Capitals. Now, Washington Capitals are 3-3-1 and 3-1-1, which is good. Washington Capitals are doing their thing.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. That's they getting a little bit of groove. They play the Columbus Blue Jackets at home, but this is a preseason, so the regular season hasn't started yet. But I think they're actually doing pretty good. I hope and pray they go to the playoffs this year, because right now I don't think they have a head coach like they did before when they won the Stanley Cup. But it should be a good coach to put them in the postseason. I don't want to go here, but I have no choice. The Washington Wizards play October 10th against the preseason starts, and they play a overseas basketball team. We look like what a high school team looked like, playing against a
Don't come down here and play William Bird.
they need to get Bird out of retirement, because this is horrible. I cannot watch this team at all. And I sit there and this is why I think this team is just a placement for all teams to get players. Because just look at what just happened. Damian Lillard is now going to the Bucks. And then you have Miami, Jimmy Butler changing himself from Jimmy Butler to Emo Butler. And I'm like, are you serious? Did this move change? Yeah, what's up?
I got it, guys. Good night.
What's up? What's your question?
Okay.
Oh, he's talking. Okay, but I don't understand how a player can be so toxic and change his whole look because of a trade. I never seen that before. That he got really upset over the fact that he lost out with Lillard. But it's just, we're not going to succeed in life because of this whole thing, that if you trade your most valuable player to another team, that team should shine. But now that you're starting from the bottom, going up, you ain't going to win nothing. And that's where we are right now, at the bottom, the very least of the bottom where your foot is. And I don't see the Wizards doing anything special. They might win, maybe 15 games and lose 70 or 65 or heck, even 35. It's not a victory. I do not see I don't see a victory. And the reason why I don't see a victory is because there's nothing there. It's only 2 minutes to 7, folks. This has been a really, really good conversation, and I had a great interaction with Coach Big Steve and Lou, co-host of the Inhuman Sports Show from 436. I want to let you know that you are welcome back next weekend when we talk about the Washington Commanders, Baltimore Orioles, Washington Wizards, Washington Capitals, DC United, and have questions from you guys. So I want you to have your human first, everything second, and you're conquerors by definition. So go get your dreams. I want to thank Big Steve and Coach for coming in, and hopefully you can have a great weekend. I'm gonna try to, but
thank you.
This game is just getting me down. But come back. I want to hear your thoughts about the game against the Atlanta Falcons at home, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to go and say, wow, this is not good. I know it's coming, and I don't want to go against my team, but I feel it. I feel it's coming. But you feel
I kind of dread it.
Yeah, me too.
Like being there.
Me too.
I wish I could be there.
Well, you know what?
Hey, Steve, yeah.
Well, you know what? You could actually stream it or pay for it and then get it on a big screen TV, and then you can feel like you're actually there. You can wear your Commanders affiliation, but just know and hope and pray that they don't have a horrible outing like they did at home, giving up 77 points at home, which is any team's dream, opposingly walking into. And you have that much of fandom in your stands. You have everybody in there, and then all of a sudden you have a little goose egg in there, and you're just like, oh crap, here we go again. I might as well just leave and get out of the parking lot before I see anybody else following me.
That's bad.
And that's what happened Thursday night. You had a whole Bear fan clapping, saying, "We turned the corner, we turned the corner," and then we were just like,
yeah, they need to turn a corner.
Well, you know what? Magic Johnson said it most. There's no intensity, there's no fire, there's no urgency. You lost it. And when I said that, I'm like,
that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
I wonder why they brought them up. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Here's my problem, and I'm going to let y'all go. We have Josh Allen. Not Josh Allen. What's his name? Josh Harris. We have Joe Harris and Magic Johnson. Not one time did they take Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio, sit them down, and let them watch the two losses, because you would have had a different outcome, a different idea, and a different name. I'm going to let y'all go with that. Be safe. Have a great weekend. And God bless. And stay safe.
God bless.
Have a good day.
God bless.
All right, bro. Be safe.
Help to the commander.
And thanks to you guys for staying in and watching it. I know we had a little technical difficulty, but you stayed in. That's a good thing. I want you to have a great weekend, and you're human first and everything second, and you're conquerors by definition, so go chase your dream. Be safe. Good night.